My dad tricked the courts into giving him custody of us, then manipulated my brother into believing that what he was doing to him was normal. So I secretly contacted mom and begged her for help. She told me she was coming until I realized she was into it too. I was 12 years old when I walked in on my dad cornering my younger brother Jeffrey. His shirt was off and he was undoing his belt buckle. Just 30 minutes ago, he'd put me to bed early, saying Jeffrey needed help with a school project and I couldn't distract them. I remember quietly tiptoeing back out of the room before grabbing my cell phone to call my mom. She'd been divorced with dad for 2 years by this point. Dad had forced me and Jeffrey to lie in court about her laying hands on us, and the second he got custody, he forbade us with any contact from her. This wasn't my first time speaking with her though. We'd maintained regular contact, mainly because me and Jeffrey were so scared of dad, and she seemed like the only safety net we had. The problem was, mom was no saint either. Yeah, she loved us, but immediately after losing in court, she left for some rich dude in Brazil and never texted us first. This was different though. I remember pleading for her to pick up, and thankfully she did. I wasted no time telling her what was happening on the other side of that wall, even making sure I left enough quiet time so the phone could pick up dad's grunting and Jeffrey's muffled sobs. I remember mom going quiet, and then she started crying. Real, genuine, angry tears. Not again were the only words she managed to get out. What do you mean not again, mom? I quietly asked. Your dad, sweetie, I'll explain later. With that, she hung up the line, and at that exact moment is when my bedroom door creaked open. It was dad, walking a now limping and broken sobbing Jeffrey into bed. I remember my heart in my chest, planting my head down into the pillow so fast hoping he hadn't noticed or heard me talking to mom. Thankfully, he hadn't. He put Jeffrey to bed before giving him what sounded like a soft kiss on the cheek and telling him he did good today. After he left the room, I waited a little, just until Jeffrey stopped full on crying before placing my hand on his shoulder. I told him I saw. Please don't tell anyone, he shot back. My brain malfunctioned. What do you mean don't tell anyone? Dad said if someone found out I'd be in big trouble, they'd put me in jail. My heart shattered immediately. I reassured him that he wouldn't be in trouble. I told him that what dad was doing was wrong, that we needed to tell someone. He looked at me like I had just broken his world. So, it's not my fault when he takes me into the bathroom? My heart shattered even more. I told him no, and right then is when my mom texted me back. She had sent me a screenshot of her booked flight tickets. She was coming back. The very next day, I tried my best to act like nothing was wrong. I greeted dad in the morning, watched him make my cereal, then pretended like I wasn't disgusted when he told me to go to school alone so he could finish helping Jeffrey with the project. I remember being in school when mom called me. I've just landed. I remember feeling genuine hope. I asked her to please come over around 6. That's roughly when dad would be heading out for the bar. She told me no problem. She said she'd be there on the dot. I ended up at home an hour early after skipping my final class, and when I walked in, I found dad lounging around shirtless, claiming it was just too hot. It was 67 degrees. I remember asking where Jeffrey was. I had something cool to show him, and his face just flashed. He told me to just go upstairs and he'd get Jeffrey shortly. Sure enough, he did, and when I saw Jeffrey and dad left, I explained everything to him. How mom was coming, how we were going to help him, how there was nothing that would stop us from getting justice. I saw him involuntarily flinch when I mentioned mom. He looked like he went to say something, but I cut him off and told him it was okay. She would help us. He kinda just went quiet. I figured it was just fear. At 6, as expected, dad started getting ready for the bar. Me and Jeffrey were sitting in our room sweating, waiting for the doorbell to ring. Mom was about to come in and save us, only she never did. 6:05, then 6:10. For some reason, dad hadn't left yet, and mom was nowhere to be found. I started calling her at 12 minutes past, but she wouldn't answer. That's when at 6:15, our bedroom door burst open. It was dad. Hey kids, come down to the living room, he said in this stone-cold tone that made me wonder if he knew. He sat us both down on the couch before going to get himself a beer out of the fridge. I've decided not to go to the bar tonight, he said, sitting right beside Jeffrey, his hand lingering way too close to his back. There's something interesting I've recently heard. I started audibly sweating, begging mom would just show up and save us. But instead of that, I felt dad's voice getting closer to my face. There's something you've been doing, little missy, and I don't like it. His hands now went onto my thigh and started spidering up and up. I tried to turn my face away from his, but he grabbed it and forced me to look him in the eyes. You've been talking to mommy, haven't you? My heart sank. He was on to me. I started wondering if he did something to her, but before I even could, he said something that broke my entire world. If you really think she's going to help you, there's something you should know about your mom. That's when he pulled up an audio recording of them from years ago, discussing the terms of their divorce. He would get to keep the kids and do to us whatever he wanted, and in return, her partner in Brazil would send him $100,000. She's not coming. The recording kept playing on repeat. Dad's thumb hovered over the pause button but never pressed it. My mother's voice